Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make another triangle 5 millimeters further out. To do that, we're going to start by using our friend the offset tool. I'm going to click on this line here, and I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to type 5 to drag it out 5 millimeters. So you'll notice though that it didn't automatically extend it. So I'm going to have to extend it using the line tool. This is the line tool up here, and if I just hover over the end and it turns into a square, you'll see I can connect my line to that. And if you're lucky, you'll notice that Fusion has put these little parallel lines beside it. That means that Fusion is making sure that this new line is parallel. But let's just say it's not parallel for a second. Let's just do it like that. So what you'll notice is this has now gone blue. That's because if it's not parallel, Fusion doesn't really know what angle this is, right? So if I go up here to my select tool and I click the end here, I can actually move it around because it hasn't yet been constrained. Fusion will most likely constrain this for you, but I want to show you how you can do this yourself. So up here are the constraints, and there's one called the parallel constraint. It's also there. So if I click on that, and I click on this line, and then I click on this line, it'll make the second line parallel to the first line. All right. Now, and you can see there's got a little sign there showing the parallel constraint. Now it's actually much easier to just make sure when you drag it out that you let Fusion do it for you. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. By the way, once you're finished with your line, if you double click, it will turn off the line tool, or if you click escape, it'll turn off the line tool. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape to turn that off. Now what we want to do is we want to draw another line over here. So you could just draw it, but a quicker way to do it is to use the mirror tool. Select these lines. You need to select all 3 of them, and you can see over here it says I've selected 3. Now I'm going to click on select button next to mirror line, and I'm going to select that middle line there. And so now I have mirrored it, but I've got some extra stuff hanging over the edges there. So I need to trim those off, and that's the scissor tool here. It's the trim tool. So all I need to do is just go and hover over those until they're red. And you'll notice with some of the trimming that I'm starting to get blue lines. It's going to get even worse when I trim off this shape here and this shape here. So all of a sudden those lines have gone blue. That's because they're no longer constrained. Fusion doesn't know where they are anymore because I deleted this part here, and it needed that line there to know where those lines were. So in order to constrain it, I need to add another dimension. I need to tell Fusion how far away these are from something it already knows about. To create a dimension, I go create sketch dimension, and you'll see it's got the keyboard shortcut D. So from now on, I'm just going to use D. And one thing that I know Fusion always knows, it always knows where the origin is. So let's try this first. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the distance from the origin, and that got most of it, but it didn't get this one here. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to try and make that one parallel. Aha, so now it's, and actually I think this one down here, it also doesn't know that that one's parallel. So now I make them parallel. Now everything's black and constrained. I'm going to go finish sketch. And if you actually go look at the sketch, if the sketch is constrained, it should have a check on it. So there might be something not constrained. Anyway, we'll stop there. And next I'll show you how to make the rest of the whole